Okay, good morning guys. This is going to be a little bit of a different setup. Today I wanted to show you my jewelry workbench actually. I'm going to give you a little close-up tour of some of the pieces that I've made and some of the tools that I have. So I'm going to scoot you down and we'll see how this works. If the light is in and out, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, but we'll see how it goes. Just stick with me and we'll get there eventually. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, you can see. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. It normally doesn't, well, no, I won't lie. It usually looks like this. Anyway, so some of the pieces that I have made. I spoke before in my jewelry room or my studio room tour that I got these brass plates through work. When I used to work in the warehouse, I was on special projects and these were on the old cardboard boxes. Well, the light, see? Yeah, sorry about that. So these brass plates used to be on the cardboard boxes and then you could put a little card in there and it would have the product number. They went digital and had barcodes and RF scanners, so now these became obsolete. They wanted to throw them out. I said, no, I will take them home. Like the other boxes, I will give them a good home myself and I will see what I can do with them. So some of the things that I have made, sorry for the noise, are some jewelry pieces. So this is one of them. So this is one of those pieces. I just took the two, well, I cut it asymmetrically and then I just put a patina on there. The thing is, these already have a lovely patina on their own. All I have to do is put some markings on them. Now, jewelry is very subjective to everyone, like everything else. Everybody has their own taste. I do not work in fine jewelry, but I do enjoy creating my own style. Here's another. I love turquoise, so turquoise are quite a few of my pieces actually. It's one of those stones I really like. And then there's this one here. Now this one is where we use some different things. Actually, the wings here are embossed on very thin brass plate. The face, believe it or not, is made out of hot glue. I have a mold, a silicone mold for faces. For some reason, I love faces. I don't know why. It is the strangest thing. But anyway, so I put the hot glue in the mold and then I take it out and I painted it and then I put it in this frame, leftover piece of metal. And then I use glossy accents, actually. So I'm trying to keep it upside down so it doesn't get the bubbles, but it's just glossy accents by Inkessentials. I'm sure there's a few other ones out there now, so that is the only one I have. But it's one of those things, it just turned out really well. It was an idea I had, and it was one of the few that actually came out the way I thought it would, so, which is nice. And then I just made, you know, the chain with some of the beads on it, and then I just used regular chain. I do have earrings that match it. I usually try to make a pair of earrings that go with it, because sometimes it's very difficult to find something that will go with a piece that somebody else has made. So again, you know, let's take these ones for example. So these can be used as sun catchers or as pendants. So these are metal, well, metal, they're copper seals. When we got them into the warehouse, some of them had been damaged and so bent out of shape we could not sell them to our customers. So I was given permission to take them home and do what I please with them. So what I've done is I've turned them into these little sun catchers or pendants. So in this one, I made a little flower out of the brass thin sheet. I just had a design and then I created it and it actually worked out, which I'm surprised. And then this one, again, a crossover from my scrapbooking. I just used a flower punch on an embossed piece of copper plate, thin copper plate, and then I domed it and I made it into a bead cap. So again, you can use your scrapbooking supplies in many different ways in jewelry making, which is what I love about it. Let's see. Okay, I keep talking about thin plate and things like that. Okay, this is what I started out with. This is from juice cans, the lids. You know, the frozen juice cans that come in the cardboard, and then these are the little lids that you pop off. So I save these, or even from the cinnamon rolls. We eat a lot of cinnamon rolls, apparently. So I save these, and then I will cut them with my shears, my metal shears. So, or tin snips or whatever. These are a smaller version, which is perfect. I don't want the big heavy one because my hand would just be too sore by the end of cutting. So these are perfect size. But because there's a ridge on here, it does leave a ridge on your metal eventually. So what you need to do is you need to file it out. And what do you file it out with? Well, if you're like me, you'll have a whole collection of files. So a lot of these are nail files, actually, because some of them have a spongy base to them, so it's a little bit easier to get into certain areas. And then you have the harder nail files. I have the metal nail files. I also have these diamond coated, I think they're used for electronics and things like that, but I use them for jewelry making. I got these at Princess Auto, actually. These are pretty good. And then, of course, with nail files come all kinds of tools. When you make earrings out of metal, you need to find a way to sharpen it first of all. Not sharpen it. You need to get rid of the sharp edges so you don't hurt yourself. So the ends, the ear wires, because I make my own, this little end piece, when you cut it, it can hurt when you put it in. So you can get this at Michael's. This is a cup burr. So I haven't used it in a little while. Can't get the lid off. So what it does, it is a little file on the inside of a cup. Can you see that? And that part fits perfectly in this way. And then you file it so that this is nice and smooth and it doesn't hurt your ears when you put it in. I've never had issues with copper in my skin and earrings and rings. Some people I know do. If you buy just plain copper, you should be okay. Now, some wire out there will have nickel in it. You have to be careful because if you have a nickel allergy, your skin will get marked up and it'll hurt. My daughter has a nickel allergy and her fingers are raw from certain jewelry. And even though she had some expensive stuff, it still did the same thing because it had nickel in it. So there are some tests out there that you can do to make sure you don't have a nickel allergy. So that's to keep in mind. Some of the other tools. Needle nose pliers. These are very long. I got these at Princess Auto, but what I use these for, actually I'm wearing the earrings now. So these, the little copper leaves, I flame painted them with just a regular candle lighter. I wouldn't use a small lighter, I would use a long one, and then in conjunction with this, when you paint it with the flame painting, obviously, then you get these lovely little colors on your copper. So it really comes out interesting, actually, and it's never the same, no matter how many times you do it. So it's always an interesting look, which I really enjoy, because it's, you know, and then once you flame painted it, you can figure out what kind of beads you want to put with it. In this case, it was turquoise and purple, and then some silver chain, and it worked out really well. And then just my ear wire. And then, oh, excuse me for a second. Sorry, trying to put the earring back in. So these are the longer tools. I got these at Princess Auto, my first set of tools. It's not really for fine jewelry making. So what you want is your round nose pliers, your cutter, your side cutter. It's a good one. And this one, it's like round nose pliers, but it has the 3 different sizes, so it takes the guesswork out of it for you. And then my chain pliers, they're just flat on the inside and smooth, so it doesn't mar up any of your wire. I want to say acrylic, but it's not. It's nylon pliers. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Nylon. So it doesn't mar up your stones or break anything. It doesn't hold as well, but it does do the job when you need it to. So for my jump rings, I have a wire jig. I have a small one. I usually use these for earrings and things like that. And then I have a larger one for chain making. So you can do chain mail, you can do just put bigger beads and things like that onto chain, and smaller beads and things. So there's that. What else? This one, it's just key stock. I got it at the hardware store. It's basically what they use for keys when they're creating keys. But I chose it to be a mandrel for square jump rings. Don't ask me why, I just wanted to play around with it. I have it in a couple of different thicknesses, but I enjoy that one. And then, let's see, my hammers. I love my hammers. So this one is the first one I ever had. It came with the eyelet set. The eyelet setter from Making Memories? I'm trying to remember. Sorry, excuse me for a second. Oh yeah, Making Memories. So it came with the set with eyelets and things like that, and then it comes with a little setting mat. And then this is the hammer that came with it. So I enjoy this hammer a lot because this side is rounded and it does lots of nice markings on your metal. And this is perfect for hardening your ear wires. So, and it's a nice little size, so you're not overly, you know, putting too much pressure on it. So that's a good one. This one, the heads are removable. You can replace them. Again, it's so you don't mar the metal. This is rubber, and this is just acrylic. Softer acrylic, not the hard acrylic. And then these ones, the heads come off too, and you get a few interchangeable ones for different metal work. And then I have my rawhide mallet. It's a really heavy one. This one's quite heavy. It's for wire hardening, again, without marking up the metal too much. But this one is like, it's a good solid one. Keep it away from your dogs because it is rawhide. He'll chew it up. Not my dog because he gets lots of other things to chew to pieces, but I've heard a lot of other artists say that their dog will eat it. And then this one is made out of tightly rolled leather, which is a really good one too. This one is Japanese. And this one's really, really light. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this one for yet, but it's the same for wire hardening. Here's another crossover piece from, scrapbooking. So this is just a hole punch. So it's a 1/16. It's really, really tiny, but it's perfect for cutting through thin metal plate. So I enjoy this one. This one is perfect for attaching chain and different things. And then I have my Japanese eyelet setter. Oh, I love this beast. It's so nice, but you can put it towards different depths, not depths, when you go in. Well, maybe depths is the correct word, I'm not entirely sure. But it came with quite a few of these. So it'll be interesting. I bought some leather at my local hardware store, not hardware store, craft store, and all leather end pieces. And then I want to make some jewelry or maybe some closures for journals and things like that. So we'll see how far I get with that. What else? Oh, an awl. An awl always is very handy to have. This one is just from Home Depot. I asked my daughter for tools for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I needed an awl. I had one, but it's so blunt now that it's not even any good anymore. So I got this one. I love it. It works really well. And then I have E6000 glue, of course. That works for just about anything. And then I have this little pin vise. So I haven't drilled a hole in my bench yet for it, but you can drill a hole in it or you can attach it with some screws in the outside of your bench. So it's supposed to hold lots of smaller things. I had this one before, but it's not the greatest. It's one of those suction cup ones. It doesn't work the best, but you know, it's all I had at the time. So this is the one that I want to start using. What else do I have? It's getting full over here. My saw I want to use. I do have a, let's see, where is it? Yes. So I have a little bench tool for that, so that you would cut, you know, the blade would go in here, so you would use it like that kind of thing. Can't wait to start using that. I get the feeling I'm going to go through a lot of blades, unfortunately, so I'm hoping to find those in bulk sizes. Silica packs. You know those silica packs that come in just about anything and everything? Well, I have collected, I don't know how many over the years, like tons and tons and tons. They come in purses, they come in shoes, they come in everything. Put some with your wire and put some in with your beads, with your jewelry box and whatnot else. It'll keep your jewelry a lot nicer, a lot longer. So that works out really well for me. Let's see. You'll end up collecting all kinds of beads, of course. Hold on a second. I'll show you the one case that I hold most of my beads in. So my daughter, she bought me these a few years ago for Christmas, and I've just recently been able to move things into it. So this is one of those ones that you get at Home Depot, actually, and it's really nice, actually. Everything just fits in there perfectly. It's got little removable trays, so and then little compartments underneath still. So I keep a lot of my semi-precious stones in here, coral and glass beads and stone and things like that. There's some fossilized stone that I really like, which is really pretty. I love turquoise, so I have turquoise, and then also the shaped turquoise, so I like the raw look also. But I also like the shaped ones, and there's lots of different kinds in here. I'd love to work with jade. Jade is really, really gorgeous. I'm not a carver, but, you know, it's one of those things. Yeah, you tend to collect metal pieces and all kinds of things over time. I found doorknob or drawer hardware, some gorgeous pieces that they use for back plates that I've used for pendants. Let's see, what else? Oh, my torch. I love my torch. So this one is a bead landing. It's just from Michael's. If you're going to use a torch, make sure you have a fire extinguisher and some heat-proof surface to use it on. So what I have, well, I can't find it, of course, at the moment. It's in my drawer, but it's a sheet that welders use when they weld copper piping. And then I use that, because it's fireproof, I use that to, just in case, because this is wood surface, I don't want it to catch on fire. And make sure you wear short sleeves or tight sleeves, and make sure your hair is up so it's out of the way. When you're jewelry making, you don't want any of that in the way. So this is a journey I'm willing to share with all of you. If you'd like to see more, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see how far we can go with this. Bye, guys.